Welcome back. In the previous step, we connected the retrieve all to-dos and the retrieve to-do methods to the services which are exposed from the JPA to-do resource. Let's now try and do the rest of the step one by one. I'm going to the to-do JPA resource, and now let's look at the other methods which are present in here. Let's start with the delete to-do. What I would need to do is I'll comment this out and I'll just do to do JPA repository dot delete by ID. So this does not really return anything. So what we'll do, it will throw an exception if something goes wrong. So what I'll do is I'll return no content dot build and comment this out. So if the delete is successful, it will return no content back. Now the rest of the things should be easy. This one I just need to replace it with to do JPA repository. So let's comment this and replace this with to do JPA repository dot save. As simple as that. And over here is also the save method. So we just do the same thing that we did in here. One of the things I have just observed, let's fix this, let's paste this in. So now we are using to do JPA repository everywhere in all the methods. One of the things that I just observed is both these methods are called update to do. The post mapping should be called actually create to do, isn't it? So let's fix this up. So we now have a delete to do, update to do, and a create to do methods, all updated with the right logic. Oops, another mistake. Actually, this was called created to do, and let's rename this to created to do. Cool. Now you'd see that the entire thing compiles. Cool. Now everything is compiling, and what we can do is change all the other stuff. Delete to do JPA API URL. Retrieve we already changed. Update and the create. So now all the 5 are pointing to the to do JPA API URL. I don't really need the API URL anymore. I'll remove that out from the imports. One of the things you can make sure is over here this line should be is equal to -1 in to do component. In the save to do, the first line should be this dot id is equal to -1. When you are comparing objects, you should use is equal to. When you are comparing primitives, it's better to use is equal to. I guess most of the stuff is done right now, and let's save this and let's look at the front end. I'm able to see the 3 to-dos. If you go to the H2 console right now and look at the data that we have, oops, the server has restarted, so it would have refreshed the data down here, run, and that's cool. And over here, let's do an update and let's call this learn JPA today and save. Cool, that works. And let's say I change the target date. I want to change this to 30th November. I'm a lazy guy, and that works. Let's add another one and learn Spring MVC 4. Okay, this is one thing I can say I know very well. So I'll say save. The save is not really working. Let's look at what's happening. You can see the reason why the save is not really working is because the username is being set to null. The reason why username is being set to null is because we don't really have the username set into the to-do. On the front end, we don't really care about the to-do's username. So what we need to do over here is to-do dot set username and take the username path variable and set it into it. So now save it. This would restart the server. So when I go to the to-dos, I would see these, and when I do select start from to-do, connect and run this again, I would actually see the refreshed data. And now let's try and add learn Spring MVC 4, and let's change the target date to 30th and save. And now you would see that all the to-dos that we are added in, you'd be able to see them. In the last few steps, we did all that is needed to connect the application, the backend, to a database. We saw that it was really easy. We just needed to create an entity. We needed to create a JPA resource and a JPA repository. JPA repository was a Spring Data JPA feature which allowed us to have the resource talk to the Spring Data JPA repository. I'll see you in the next step. Until then, bye bye.